But I was also a high school art teacher for 4 years, so the information I'm going to give you today doesn't come from a place of, look how good I am so good at what I do. No, it's coming from a place of I genuinely think that anyone can learn to draw, so I'm going to try to give you the most basic information as possible, and I want you guys to go home and draw your OCs, because we all have our little OC. Well, I know we do. So, that being the case, we're going to start with Generation 1. Little background on Generation 1. They came out in 1982, and the first ones all had pretty much the same body type and flat hooves, and those are known as the flat hoof ponies. And there's actually somebody in the dealer's room over here selling a big old box full of just random G1s, and I was like, oh, this pony's 30 years old. Everybody else was like, whatever, it's not Rainbow Dash, it sucks. But it's cotton candy. I give no cares. So, yeah, all right. To start with, the Generation 1 ponies, which came out in 1982, you're going to notice a certain pattern with these ponies. Roundness here for the base of the head, roundness here for the base of the chest, and roundness here for the base of the butt. The butt is what we called it back then, because we didn't have words like flank and cutie mark. The cutie mark, we called that the picture on their butts. And everyone, oh yeah, the picture on the pony's butts. Yeah, it's butt pictures. What's up, butt pictures? The first time I said, the picture on their butts near a brony, this kid was like, excuse me, that's called the cutie mark. I'm like, aren't you adorable? Yeah. So anyway, so we've got the large base circle for the head, large base circle for the chest, and a huge base circle for the butt. Now to start off, actually I'm going to move that head just a little bit, because the original G1 ponies, they had this expression like they didn't actually want to be touched. Every one of them was all like, all 4 feet on the ground, and their back was kind of like this, and they're like, no, don't touch me, no, oh God, no, greasy chalkins, no. So they actually wanted nothing to do with you touching them, which I thought was adorable, which means, I was touching them. So a pony's head was a flat affair, a big flat forehead that came down to a large upper lip. I don't know even know. Like that, and then the upper lip hung over the chin, just slightly. Like that, and then the chin was like that, and then we went back around. God, that's a big head. So, we're going to make that just a little bit smaller. I just want you guys to see that flip situation. Okay, so down, lip, big old head. Now, get rid of the back of the head there. The ears on the Generation 1 Milo Pony were perfectly triangular, like that, and they always pointed pretty much straight up. My guess on that is because they wanted to make sure that if you stepped on this thing in the middle of the night, it was going to hurt. So, I like to, between me and my brother, our house was just a landmine of Legos and ponies. Nobody moves, pain. So, their eyes, like when you're a little kid, you learn how to draw that lemon-shaped eye like this. And that's, an eye. This eye exists throughout all kinds of cultures and humanity. We go, oh, that's a pretty girl eye, look at that. But if we look throughout history, the same eye, we do this kind of thing, we do this kind of thing, we kick something down like that, it's like the eye of Ra. This sort of thing exists throughout all humanity, so it's very, it's okay that you learn to draw these things as a small child, because, hey, the Egyptians built pyramids, man, so they can draw lemon eyes all they want. Now, so the same sort of eye exists on these ponies. Keep in mind this was 1982. All right, so we've got this, but the eyeball always looked back like this, and we had our big dark spot, our iris, our pupil. I'm sorry, the pupil of the eye. The iris was here, and there was a little dot right there. But sometimes, so if you had a fancy pony, they'd have a little heart in their eye, and I'm like, oh, don't patronize me, oh. So we had this, and the pony always looked backwards, and I'm assuming that's because they're like, don't you step on me. Don't you step on me. Okay, here we go. And ears. So there is the head of our G1 pony. They had a nostril right there, and then they didn't have eyebrows. One of the things I love about G4 ponies is they have eyebrows, so they're real expressive. When Rainbow Dash gets mad, it's boom, straight line eyebrows, and she knocks her hat off. So, but with 1980s ponies, there was the little line above it, but then they have this big fold, this crease, this sort of bone on their head. I don't like to draw it too big because it looks real dumb, but I do like to just hint at it with a line below the ear. And had a big old fat cheeks, and then the neck came down like this. to meet the body, and like, don't you step on me, don't you step on me. And then a bit of a shoulder, and then the back connected to the big old butt. You'll notice that ponies are made out of circles, and this is because the human eye naturally looks for curves. Curves are something that we just enjoy. Curves, lumpy space princesses, curves, we love them. Straight lines are something that we tend to impose on nature and impose on our environment. It's very rare in nature you see a totally straight line. So curves are something that we just generally in the back of our hindbrain go, yeah, I like that, curves, good, yay. So you'll notice that most ponies are made out of nothing but curves. Even their legs, which look like straight lines, are actually very gentle curves. So curves, keep that in mind when drawing your ponies. So we got a big old fat butt and we got a big old fat chest. So the legs are gonna come down like that and then poof out a little bit at the bottom. Because it is a circular object, we're going to have a bit of an ellipse on the bottom here. This is one of the things that does drive me crazy about G4, because their feet are a straight line. So like on G4, when you draw their legs, it comes up like that. That straight sort of line, it's not totally straight, there is a little bit of curve because curves, but it's so straight, it doesn't, imply the roundness of a hoof that the older drawings did. So this, to me, looks like the ponies are standing on a razor-thin edge. Their legs are actually that wide, a point singularity of just pure razor's edge they're walking on at all times. So that does drive me crazy. But back to this hoof. So we come down here and connect right there. Now, the joint within the ponies, these ponies' legs was pretty much hidden. You had to like super look for it back in the day. And their legs, the original ones, didn't have any kind of like superposing on them. They just were like, no, here's my big old fat belly, here's my big old fat butt, here's my big old fat back leg. That's way too fat. That's a super fat leg. Okay, pretty good. And there was definitely a hint of the hoof within that point. Like if you go dig through that box, this poor woman's gonna be like, what's going on? I'm gonna tell you, she's like, I need to look at this G1 pony, what's going on? Man, I've been ignoring it all day. Suddenly they want to look at them. They don't want to buy them, they just want to look. So here we go. So here is a big old butt and a big old chest and a big old head. And it helps if you pronounce it like that, by the way. Head, big old. All right, and we get rid of our construction lines. And there's the basis of our G1 pony who doesn't want you to step on it because of the pointy ears. Now, the tails, keep in mind, during the 80s, drawing hair on most characters was really, really simple. It wasn't a matter of like, how much anime-esque detail can we throw into it? Oh my gosh, let's make it look like Clamp drew this thing. Oh my gosh, yes, Chona's hair. Ah! Like 3 anime fans just went, oh my god, Clamp! So it's more of, this comes down, we go swoop, and then we go swoop, and what you're about to see is the perfect example of 80s hair. There we go, that's how you draw that. Maybe if it's got a stripe in the hair, we go, way, yay, look at this stripe. It's crazy, right? Oh, it took forever. I need a nap. So, okay, so we've got the tail for the bangs because 80s. There was this obsession, this strange mid-80s obsession with 1950s culture. Yeah, some of you are all like, uh-huh. So, but because of that, this little like hair swoop like this, which to me is a very 50s look, was prominent in most toys at the time. So this was the general shape of a curl on My Little Pony back then. Now let's say that we did a straight tail over here, but let's say she has curly mane. I'll show you how to draw a curly mane. All right, we go, here's one curl, here's a second curl, here's a third curl, here's a fourth curl, here's a fifth curl, and you just layer curls on top of each other, and that was how you did curly hair. It didn't get any easier. So for a little kid who wanted to learn to draw, it was like, wait a minute, all I gotta do is these weird teardrop-shaped comma things. Heck yeah, I'm drawing curls, woo! Pretty soon you got like, giant hair going on. It's like, my pony's cool, what's up? Look at that big hair, she's in Texas, what's up? So, this was your classic sort of style of the original pony. Curly hair really didn't come about until the second set of ponies was released, which is when we also got the first Pegasuses. Pegasus? Pegasus. So, Pegasi. All right. That's how I scare my cat, by the way. So, Pegasus. So, if we had like most of the Pegasuses had curly hair, and the unicorns tended to have straighter hair. This all changed out, as the years went on. And I'm telling you guys, back in the day, there were way more ponies than are available right now, and they were this big, and they had more hair, and they had cooler stuff going on, and they were only $5. What's up? Just saying. So I really think we're getting ripped off in terms of our ponies now. $5 you get something that big, please. So, yay. So if we wanted to draw maybe one of the second generation, or the second set to come out of the first generation, because this is where things are nice. This is where, ponies are good, ponies are fun. Oh, look at all the different kinds of ponies, they're so good. Look at me, grabbing a pair of pliers and taking it to my mother and saying, rip my baby teeth out so I can get some money to go buy ponies. That's right, make this happen. I'm obsessive. That's right, Mama, let's go buy ponies. I don't want to really spend too much time on the dark years. But we will. We'll learn to draw in the dark years. But there are so many fun things that happened during the first generation that, you guys are bronies. You need to know your history. So come with me. Let's go on a little journey, shall we? Let's, okay? So the second generation to come out, that's when we started getting some really neat things like different poses. So the head might be kicked out, and there might be an open mouth, like that. And then the eye always, for some reason the eye always looked backwards, I guess because they really didn't want you stepping on it. Like, don't you do it! Don't you, I know where you sleep, don't you do it! Okay, and then we have the neck like that, and then we might have a trotting body, we might have the leg coming out like that. And then we have another leg coming out like, this Margaret's dying. Don't like that. But the legs started definitely taking on a different shape. Gosh, this Margaret's dying in a rush. Oh no, dying Margaret. Oh no, let's see if this pink one works. Pink! Pink! Yeah, that's okay. The legs started taking on more of these tapered shapes. So they would taper up here at the top and get wider down here at the bottom. I drew this guy a little too close to the surface, so forgive me on that. But we'd have like legs that ran into each other and things like that. So it got harder and harder to stand your ponies up on a shelf without them falling over. And when your pony fell over, there was a chance that, all the points that stuck out, like the nose or the ears, would hit something that would leave a mark. So you'll notice most older ponies have like black tips to their ears or little like brown spots on their nose. It's like, great. Also, for those of you who still do have older ponies or do wish to start collecting older generation ponies, you need to be aware of what's known as pony cancer. I'm not kidding, pony cancer. And it is the degradation of the vinyl that the ponies were made out of. These are 30-year-old toys. They're going to start degrading. It's just the nature of the beast. So yeah, if you notice a pony that's like kind of sticky feeling, that's the actual substance that causes the vinyl to be soft. Leaching out of the pony was a bad mix. So you need to take that pony and put him away and not put him near your other ponies. If you notice a pony that's like got a weird sort of moldy looking spot, that's cancer and it will spread to your other toys. All right, new and old. So do not put a pony with a moldy spot anywhere near your other vinyl toys. It will spread, all right? And just so you know, there is no cure for pony cancer. It's very sad. We need to start like a pony cancer research society because it's very, very sad. There's nothing you can do. You can try bleaching it just to get rid of the color, but the actual degradation of the vinyl is still going to continue to happen, and it will jump to pony. So you need to quarantine those from the rest of the herd. Also, pony pimples. Those are real gross. Once again, it's the lubricant in the vinyl leaching out, and it makes little peaks, and it's all gross, and it looks like a zit, and you can like pop it, and it goes, and you go, So yeah, collecting ponies, fun. So yay. So let's say we had like a unicorn. Instead of like it just being a horn like that, and then like we go whoop, 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 straight lines like it is in the new show. The ponies of old, ponies back in the day, the horn was a spiral affair, like that, and it was lumpy. So it was like a twisty, lumpy spiral doodle, and it was super, super fun, and I love those horns, and they were great, and yay! Also, they got really dirty really quick, because, pony knockover, yay! And you go, stop it, brother, you're a butt! And your mom yells at you for calling your brother a butt. So, it's happened, you guys know, you guys know that kind of thing. All right, so, if we had a unicorn, a Pegasus, the wings were super cute. They came out well, actually, they were mostly attached to the body. And it was like 1, 2, 3 little wingy doodles like that, and then 1, 2, 3 on the inside, and then 1, 2, 3 like that. So it was just little raised plastic bumps, but this wing was mostly attached to the body. Every now and then again, you get one that's wings were like raised a little higher, but not often. They were just kind of molded on. So anything that could, be pumped out of a mold as fast as possible, they were down with. So also on the bottom of the second set of ponies that came out, the first set of ponies had flat feet. That's what makes them special. Every pony made after that had a concave hoof, which means the bottom of the feet were like tilted inward. So, and they all had something stamped on the bottom of their feet. One foot would say Hasbro, the next foot would say 1983 or whenever that particular mold was made. The next one would say Made in, and the last one would say Hong Kong. And as a small child, I was going, Hong Kong must be the greatest place in the entire world. All I can think is that Hong Kong was like what we see Equestria as now. It's like, I want to go to Hong Kong. My parents are like, what is wrong with this kid? I'm just going, Hong Kong, tell me about Hong Kong, pony. Also that smell when you open up a brand new pony, that's every Christmas and birthday ever, just crack. Oh yeah, new pony smell. So, yay. So, okay, so that was the basic form of G1 ponies, but there were so many G1 ponies. There were tons and tons and tons and tons and tons. I mean, when I say there were tons of G1 ponies, I mean there were tons of G1 ponies. So there were mermaid ponies, there were the sea ponies, there were the Sweetheart Sister ponies, there were these things that we called My Little Pony All Grown Up that were just horses, and I'm all like, I don't think so, okay, whatever Hasbro, it's just a horse, you can't fool me, I know a pony when I see one. So, I am 7, Hasbro. You think I don't know a horse from a pony? Oh, right, so. Let's talk about the Sweetheart Sisters for a little while. The Sweetheart Sisters were the pony type that's like Princess Celestia and Princess Luna and all the long, tall, lanky ponies are based off of. So when I start drawing this, you'll see it and you'll go, oh my god, Celestia, what's up girl? Girl, what's up? What's up? Did you get a haircut? What's up? So, let's start with a circle for the head. Notice a pattern here, circles. All right. We're gonna draw a circle for the chest. Can you guys even see this pink at all?
Yes.
Okay, good. It's very pink. Let me see if I can get this purple to keep working. All right, we're gonna do a circle for the rear. Okay, now notice how far away, let's get this drawn back in. All right, notice how far away these are compared to the last one. The last one, everything was all like jumbled on top of each other. Big old black and a big old chest and a big old head. Remember, big old head. This is much more long, everything's spaced away, so that means that the head's way up here, which means we're gonna have a longer neck. The chest is way down here, which means we're like the long neck's gotta connect to this longer base down here. The butt is way back here, which means we're gonna have a longer back and a longer stomach area. So let's go ahead and connect those. All right, so kind of looks like a giraffe right now, right? But once again, we have the square ears, and I'll talk a little more about those square ears in a minute. Now with the Sweetheart Sister ponies, we've got a different facial shape. Remember how the front of a pony's forehead just looked like this before, just a flat shape? With the Sweetheart Sisters, they came down, went in, and then made that sort of shape. So much more slender, much more graceful, and we had the very gentle definition of like a more gentle nose. Do we see that? So do you see more of Celestia in this already? All right, cool. Sweet ski. So same thing, they had much more elongated eyes, but still lemon-shaped eyes. And they still looked backwards, don't you step on me. And they had a few more eyelashes drawn in. Their ears, one of the ears on the Sweetheart Sisters always had, I'm sure they thought it was supposed to look like a flower in their hair. But what it was a plastic flower, and to get it to stay, they punched it through the ear, so there was a big rubber piece in the back holding it in like an earring, and all I could think was somebody has tagged and released this animal. Somebody is tracking this pony's movement. I'm just saying, just let me free, be free. I hate you, oh my god, this is cute, oh my god. So there'd be like this big dumb flower thing with these like driplet doodles, and these driplet doodles were rigid plastic, and they would snap off so fast, so fast. So that was there. The legs on these guys, they tended to have a pose most of the time like they were in mid-trot. but they have longer, much more delicate, long legs. Like that. And tapering up towards the top there. Okay, so do we see the influence for Princess Celestia within this longer, more lankier design? Yeah? Cool beans. Real quick, the hair on this, once again, that stupid 1950s inspired curl. Most of the Sweetheart Sisters had straight hair, and most of them had tinsel in their hair, which is like, you know, tinsel, like when you put it on your Christmas tree, it's supposed to look like icicles, it's pretty, and oh my god, tinsel, yay. Problem with tinsel. The second you stretch tinsel, you've like changed it, you're actually physically stretching it. It has no real give in it, so once you stretch tinsel, it's all like, and now I'm crunchy looking, what's up? You'll curl it, you'll turn it terrible, and like, you notice like if you find some G1 ponies in that bin out there, the tinsel will be all like, crinkly and gross. There ain't nothing you can do for that except remove it and replant tinsel yourself, and ain't none of us gonna sit there and replant tinsel, let's be honest, that ain't happening, no. So as a little kid, you'd be all like, oh my god, pretty pony, oh my gosh, you came with a brush, oh my gosh, brush and ruined, what's up? So, tinsel in the hair, bad thing, but lines, and it would come down like this, and it'd be long and pretty, and it'd be so long and pretty, and a pretty hair, and then the tail would come up, much higher tail position on these ponies, and it would come down, and be so pretty. Once again, super easy to draw 80s hair, you just, like that. And that was a Sweetheart Sister pony. Yay! Yay! Okay. Now, there were many, many, many different kinds of ponies. There were sea ponies. Do you guys know about sea ponies? Oh my god, I see people shaking their head no. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. If you guys had told me, all right, 15 years ago, that I'd be standing here in front of a room full of awesome people talking about My Little Ponies, and you guys are going, yeah, My Little Ponies, I've been like, shut up and leave me alone, you're being mean. You know, where were you guys 15 years ago? Where were you, in 1992, huh? Okay, happy was born. Okay. Not born yet, okay.
There wasn't any internet.
There was no internet, yeah. The internet, I waited for you. Okay, so, just so you know, I've sold my pony collection. I had over 180 My Little Ponies by the time they stopped making Generation 1, not counting repeats and twins. So, yeah, that's a lot of ponies. But I sold them to pay for my college education. Kind of regret going to college. No. Don't regret going to college. I do miss my ponies. Sea ponies. Same thing, we're going to start with a round head. This is your classic My Little Pony head, so it's going to be flat. Happy smile. The lower lip hangs below the top one. The lemon-shaped eye. Always looking backwards. And then this was the seam of the neck of the toy. I'm going to draw it in just so you guys can see. There was always a seam, so the head was cast separately from the body as a toy, right? So this is where it gets fun. So we have pony up here, but then on the bottom, this is just, you know, pony head. They just stuck a pony head onto this body shape. Oh my god. And it had a fin back here, and it had a fin like here. Ponies came with a clamshell with a suction cup on the back, so when you were playing in the tub when you were done, you just went and stuck it to the side of your tub and went, here you go, pony, you live there, yay. But the baby sea ponies were super cute, and they came with little floaties, like they weren't like quite good enough to swim yet, and they're all like, I'm just gonna be over here later, okay. What's the deep end? Okay. They were super, super cute. So sea ponies were great except for one thing. The big adult sea ponies, they had a hole about right here in the head to let water in and out of, because if you're going to have a toy in the tub that's squishable, you need to be able to get the water out, right? Right, every parent knows this, cool. But as a 5-year-old child sitting playing in the tub, it's all like, yay, pony! You figure out that this is a squishable body, water goes in, cool, so you fill your pony with water, and you're all like, so you're hosing down your bathroom, and it's like, yay, pony, she's like a dolphin, yay! That's all well and good, but to keep this pony floating upright and not sideways like a dead fish in the water, the pony had inside of it, right about here, a large ball, a metal ball. Now, once again, this was to weigh down the tail, and it was really cool because you could figure out how to fill it up with a certain amount of water to get it to float. Hey, yay, ponies! Thank you, yay! Everybody, con chair, woo! You could fill it with a certain amount of water so it would float below the surface. So if you're in the pool and you had a bunch of sea ponies, you could fill them with just a little water, chunk them in, and be like swimming. And there they'd be at different levels in the pool, like, what's up? But the problem is that metal tends to what? Rust. So one day you're minding your own business, taking your bath, being 5, like you do, and you're like, yay, fill with water, yay, pony, 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 squirt red everywhere. It looks like your pony is just gushing blood from its head. Squeezing, you're just like, and your mom's like, what, you turn, she's like, and that's what happens is, you think your pony is just hemorrhaging out of the head. Then of course, you have to watch as your mother's like, wait honey, I'll fix this, and you trust your mother, you love your mother would never do anything to you or a toy that you loved, right? But then you watch, as I'm sure you all have done, as your mother pulls out a butter knife, sticks it in the seam of your pony's neck, runs it back and forth until she can pop the pony's head from the pony's body. She's like, shut up! Pours everything out, the ball goes ka-chunk, she laid it in! Wash off the stupid ball, wash out the pony, put the ball back in, take the head, pop it back in the pony, then hand it back to you, and you're just sitting there going, I don't want to take baths anymore! And that's why I smell bad. So sea ponies were awesome, but they had their pitfalls, to say the least. Also, there were sea ponies that, like, if you put them in hot water, their bodies would change color, and that was cool, but if you leave them in the sun, guess what? They don't work anymore, and they're a funny color now. So there were all kinds of ponies. There were baby ponies that were super, super cute. Let me just draw real quickly the evolution of a baby G1 pony, because these things were adorable. So on one end, we had, that chin looks terrible. Why do I keep putting this over here? All right. We had baby ponies that were super cute, and they had these little necks, and they had these big old chests, and their butt was real close, and they weren't too off model from the ponies that we know now. So these little guys, and they were super cute, and la la la, and they went on adventures, and they were cool, blah 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 blah, pony, yay. Okay, so that was a baby pony, big deal, it's just a smaller pony, right? But then they're like, that's cute and all. Oh, and these came in all kinds of different things, like one of them had a tooth, looked real dumb, right? And that was called My First Tooth Pony, and it came with a little toothbrush, and you could brush its little tooth. It's like, this was fun for about 3 seconds. Yeah. But then they kept using the same mold for the head, but they didn't go ahead and paint the tooth in, so it looked like a big old tumor on that pony's lip. That was not cool, Hasbro. They also had baby ponies where there was like a big round hole right here in the mouth and a big round hole right here under the tail. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. And you would put these really cute little diapers on your pony, right? And you would feed it with this baby bottle, right? And it was a cute little baby bottle full of water. And when the pony drank the water, a tube would run into the rear end, and it would wet its diapers, and the diapers' little hearts would appear. And I'm like, I know that's supposed to be adorable, but you gross pony. So I don't get this fascination with toys that would poop themselves that happened in the 80s, because I don't think that's cute. That's not cute. So there were all kinds of different pony babies back then. There were what they called the summer wing flyers, where it was a baby pony's body, but they put these beautiful, big, translucent butterfly wings and all kinds of beautiful patterns of rainbow, and you could see right through them, and they were gorgeous. And these things run for about anywhere from $30 to $50 a pop right now on eBay. I've got 2. Yay. They're just, and they had tails that went on for freaking ever, dude. I'm talking long, I'm not kidding, long, ridiculous hair that just went on forever and ever on a baby pony. And they're trying to drive home, we're not getting our money's worth on toys anymore. So, there were all kinds of, great ponies. But then they decided this was not cute enough. We need to get them younger baby ponies. So then there was like the newborn ponies. And these guys were really, really cute. They had tiny, tiny little ears. and tiny little head, and big old eyes, still lemon sort of shaped eye, but much bigger. It was super cute. And it had big old curly hairs like this. And it was super cute. And a little bitty chest and a little bitty butt like that. So we're getting closer, I think, to what we know as the model for... Gosh, it's a pen. All right. It's kind of super cute, all right? So these were like the newborn baby ponies, and there were unicorns, and there was little itty bitty pegasuses, and there was silver hill, and there were small. And yeah, they lasted for a while, and that's cute and all. And they released sets of twins, so you get one with like a pink body and blue hair, and the next one would have like a blue body and pink hair. It's like, so cute! And the names are like Topsy and Turvy and Noodles and Doodles. It's like, so cute! But yeah, that was cute for a while, and then like not cute enough. So right before the end of the run of G1s, they released, I don't know what these things were. They must have been preemie ponies, but they were the smallest, tiniest, cutest ponies. They were, seriously, size comparison, this is what we're looking at. A tiny, little bitty nose, huge, well, not that big. Huge, giant, just adorable eyes. Like that. Big, giant, poofy, curly hair. And their mouths were almost like little kitty cat's mouths. It was super cute. And their little feet came out like that. They were so small. And their little butts are right here. And they were so small. And there was like no room between body and leg. And it looked like they couldn't stand up on their own. And they were super cute. And they were so tiny. And they were so cute. So those were the newborn baby ponies. So baby ponies came in a wide variety of shapes and sizes. Okay, does anybody have any questions about the G1 ponies before we move on to the dark times? No? We're good? All right. So, I don't know around what year exactly. All I know is that by the time I turned about 12 years old, I got real sad real quick. Ponies. Not available. Let me set this up for you. Every day of my life, I'd be all like, I could go to Kmart today and buy a new pony. I could go to Kmart today and buy a new pony. I found some change. I'm going to buy a new pony. Pony. It's my birthday. I'm getting a pony. It's Christmas. I'm getting a pony. It's Yom Kippur. I'm getting a pony. I'm not even Jewish. What's up? But you know, anything and everything for a pony, that was my deal. And out of nowhere, I'm going like, I'm going to Kmart. Mom, go to that blue light special. I'm going to the pink aisle. Yay, pink aisle. Walking down the pink aisle, Liz Pet Shop, I don't like you. What's up, Barbie? You got everything. I hate you. La 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 la. Walk up to the pony section. Where's the ponies? Seriously, where's the ponies? This isn't funny, Kmart. This isn't funny, Kmart. And just start tearing through this aisle trying to find ponies. No ponies. What's up? So my mom's like, well, let's go check, Walmart. Let's see, I'm like, no, this isn't funny, Mom. This isn't funny. Where's the ponies? Mom, where's the ponies? So we go to Walmart, walk in, no ponies. I'm like, Mom. She's like, Amelie, you are 12 years old. And I'm like, now just tell me what to do. So, come to find out, Hasbro's discontinued My Little Pony, which means I went home and just like sat in a fetal position in the center of my room with 180 plus ponies just staring at me from the shelves. I'm going, it's gonna be okay. So then I became like this weird broker of ponies within my community of friends. I'd like go to my little friends' houses. I'd be like, all right, so what's up? I see you got a firefly. Now I'll be willing to take that firefly off your hands for $4. I mean, it is a used toy. I mean, $5 is the going price right now. Oh, you bring a hard bargain. $5. You know what? I see you got a couple petite ponies too. I'll take those off your hands for another $1.50. Oh, what? You don't want to play anymore? Oh. So you're gonna sell me your pony or what? So seriously, people are like, God, here she comes again. So I hear you got a minty that you're not playing with right now. So I was collecting other people's ponies like I was going to Walmart. This was like, I'm on the hunt, you guys. Seriously, this has to happen. So this continued until I was about 18 years old. I got to go to college. I'm like, oh God, you know what's nice? Food. That's a good thing. So I sold all my ponies on eBay, which was hard and terrible, but I gotta like have a roof over my head, and being an art student, that is expensive. So I put the ponies on eBay. I take a picture of each one so I have a file somewhere of all the ponies that are gone. I just sometimes scroll through going, no. I know. But I still have a box of about 20 that are the ponies that I cannot sell because those are the ponies I actually played with and didn't just stick up on a shelf and go, yeah, pretty. So the ones that I actually played with, they are so damaged and so dirty and just so like covered in like my leavings that they are unsellable, and those are the way I like them. So I still have, and my boyfriend's like, well, thank God that you sold off your ponies, because I tell you what, right now, had I walked into your apartment and seen a shelf full of 180 plus ponies, I've been like, haha, no second date, bye. So yeah, pony. But okay, go to Walmart, no ponies, blah, 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 blah. I still go down the aisle, because, you know, I'm a glutton for pain. So, walking down the aisle, I'm in college, I've sold off all my ponies, blah, blah, blah. I'm about, I want to say 20 years old at this point, maybe 21, grown woman, I can drink. And my mom's like, I'm staying at my mom's house between semesters, right? So I'm like crashing her joint. She's all like, hey, I need you to go to the store, I need you to buy me some milk and cigarettes. I'm like, role model. So, I get in the car and I go to the Walmart. I'm like, well, I guess I'll just go down the pink aisle. It's so pink over there. Okay, I'm going. Take my little buggy, I'm pushing through. What's up, Little's Pet Shop? You're still around. Cool. What's up, Barbie? Still hate you, skinny. What's up, My Little Ponies? What? I did all of them. And there, wait, no, I skipped a generation. That's okay. Let me back it up. About the age of 15, I'm in a Toys R Us. I'm walking through the pink aisle. Sad time, My Little Pony. What? Pull back the cart, look at it, and I'm like, well, the packaging says My Little Pony. But this is clearly not a My Little Pony. What I'm looking at is not a My Little Pony. It's an abomination unto God, is what it is. Obviously, somebody made a mistake and pulled a lever on a machine that should never be touched. Someone pressed a big red button that said, don't ever push me. That's what happened. Because this thing in this packaging was so hideous and so not pony that to have the words My Little Pony in those, you know, I know those letters and I know those words, but with this thing not in those orders, what's happening? Ugh. So what I saw was this thing. All right? Oh, yeah. So you can make it do this, like goose step, like an SS Nazi soldier pony is what this was. It had a cutie mark, but it was like a tiny little heart. I'm like, you're not even trying. It also had cutie marks down here on its feet. I'm like, where are you going? Up there. So, and it came with a ton of accessories like barrettes and shoes and rings. I'm like, yo, you're trying to bribe me with crap to put on the pony. Guess what? That's not helping. You're insulting my intelligence, Hasbro. So of course, this thing is just not okay on any level. But all my family members are like, Amelie, guess what? Ponies are back here. I got you a bunch. Thanks. Hi, dog that likes to eat ponies. Guess what I got for you? Good girl. My godmother's like, why is there pink hair all over my backyard? I have no idea, Pat. Dog coughs, pony head rolls out. Oh, how'd that happen? I have no clue. So this happened, and it's like for that one brief moment in that Toys R Us, that one shining brief moment, my heart leapt to my throat, only to be broken. Imagine, you guys can see it in a little cartoon. Crack, tiki. That's what happened to my heart, yes. So all these years go by, and then my mom sends me to the store to buy the cigarettes and the milk roll bottle like she does. And there on the shelf is My Little Pony. And when I say My Little Pony, I mean a relaunch of G1. These things were so close to G1 that I was like, there are only tiny little subtle differences, and only somebody who's super obsessive compulsive like me would have noticed, right? And I did notice them, but I didn't care. There were ponies that looked like ponies, so was G1. I'm not even going to draw them because they were G1. And they were new, and they had cool names, and there was one that had like lanterns on, but its name was Kimono, and it had pretty tinseled hair, and I'm like, So I'm standing there at 21 years old, like, what's up? Okay, you, So I go home, and my mother and her husband are sitting in the living room smoking and watching CSI, because that's what old people do apparently. And they're sitting there. I walk in with these two massive Walmart bags. And they're both just like, hey, what you got there, Ami? I'm like, yes. Now my mother has lived with my pony obsession. She went through this, and she just looked at my face and saw the gleam in my eye, and she went, no. And I went, oh yeah! And I pulled out a pony. And she just sat there and looked at me, just shocked silence, turned to her husband and let loose the biggest F-bomb I've ever heard in my life. And I was like, yay! Grabbed my bags. I was like, oh, by the way, I forgot your cigarettes in the belt. Ran to my room, dumped all these ponies out of my bed. A grown woman, all right, a college-age woman, dumped these ponies on the bed, was like, pony! And just sat there like, I'm going to open you, but I'm not going to open you. No, you go here. And I'm going to open you, and you'll be friends with this one. And I got my little pony. And my mom's poodle's just sitting there going, Nah, dude, I'm a dog and I know you cray. So yeah. Did anybody have the time, by the way? It's an hour long panel.
It's 3:18.
Am I over? I'm over. No? Okay, good. I'm doing good. Okay. So this was all well and good. I'm like, pony. I still have them, the ones I haven't opened, and it's like, pony, yay, generation 3, you done did good, yay. So I'm going to the store and I'm walking through the aisle, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy some ponies, it's the best ever. Ooh, homeless guy, gross. So go into the store, go down the pony aisle, pony. There's that big sign that hangs out, you know the one I'm talking about, it says My Little Pony, and it's like, My Little Pony, what's up, littlest pet shop, not today. Walk up to the pony section, I'm like, and pony, what the, H-bombs. So I'm just standing there like a mad woman in the middle of Walmart, and like all these parents are standing there like, what's wrong with this woman? Because something's changed. Out of nowhere, no warning, out of nowhere, generation 3.5. Which I feel a little sorry for generation 3.5. They got no big grand announcement. They got no big, like launch of Comic-Con. They got none of this, hoopla. There was just somebody went, hey, we should girl up ponies some more. You know what little girls like? My Little Pony. You know what we should do? Pony them even harder. And they did. And it wasn't okay. And it's not those ponies' faults. It's not. Because we got Rainbow Dash from them. Let's be honest. But oh my God, were they ugly! So out of nowhere were these things. Big. There are certain elements that you'll recognize. You'll recognize elements of G1 and G4, but never should these twain meet. Never, because this is what happens. It helps you make that noise while you're drawing. Step on me, please! It's my hideous existence! The cheeks of evil, killing fire. Tiny neck, chest, and the feet. Giant, ridiculous feet. Now I know you're supposed to taper a pony's legs smaller here, wider here, but for the love of God! You guys, seriously, somebody at the Hasbro factory was drinking that day. And a tiny butt, and then big old fight. what the heck is that? What is this? Is this some kind of like Japanese Harajuku looking, I don't know.
It looks like a dog.
Ridiculous hair. Ridiculous. Just non-stop. Rainbow Dash had a ponytail like this. I feel so sorry for Rainbow Dash, you guys. This is bad. This is
Didn't even have wings.
Didn't even have wings, was just an earth pony. So, you know, some good came of this, but not much. Now imagine my little heart that has been lifted to the peak of happiness with the return of My Little Pony, and I know I'm never going to have a boyfriend because I'm collecting too many ponies, but this is who I am and I accept it and I love it. And there was no Brony community back then, by the way. There was no Brony community. If you like My Little Pony, guess what? You didn't talk about it. No, not kidding. So, yeah, my friends once had an intervention for me in middle school, like, Amelie, seriously, you're getting way too old for this. I was all like, brush, 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 brush. Baby Gusty, they'll never take you from me. So out of nowhere, this happens. I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I am done. I am done with this nonsense forever. I am done. I've got my ponies. I've done my ponies. I can buy more ponies on eBay if I want to, but I am never dealing with this nonsense ever again. No more ups and downs in the love of pony for Amelie Belcher. No, we're done. And then came a woman by the name of Lauren Faust. Now, you must understand why I was hesitant to accept the new My Little Pony. What with their super cute design that looks very little like the original ones, and, you know, songs, which I didn't know were awesome because I hadn't actually listened to them yet. But the first time somebody walked up to me at a convention, and it was a young man who was like, hey, My Little Ponies are awesome. I thought he was making fun of me. I didn't realize this was a thing. But then somebody finally told me, no, seriously, sit down and watch some pony. You're gonna really enjoy it. You know, here's a jump drive full of season 1. I'm like, wow, illegal media, thank you. So, so I popped this thing in, and episode 1, I'm like, it's kind of cute, I guess. But episode 2, I was like, I'm kind of in love with this show. But episode 3, I'm like, well, hell, now I'm gonna go buy everything. But everything in me did not want to like it. But oh my gosh, they're so cute. So let's learn to draw. Generation of 4, shall we? Let's. Thank you. So, and all the books open. Suddenly people are like, now I'm paying attention. Hold up. Take it out. All right, now, we're going to start with Take a Wild Guess. Circle. All right, so we start with a circle. That's actually a little big. Sorry. You guys keep drawing your circles. You have more paper than I have to work on board. So, all right, so.
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to draw a circle. Close enough. Right, then we're going to draw another circle pretty much directly below it, a little bit smaller. And then a larger circle, a little bit higher, right on top. So do you guys see what's happening already? We've got a large head, a smaller chest, and a larger rear end that is literally living on top of that chest most of the time. There's very little space for back or tummy within the new My Little Pony. As opposed to like the Sweetheart Sisters who had chest over here and bottom over here. Remember that? Yeah? Okay. So with this one, the chest is going to connect and the tummy's going to connect like that. So there's very little space, and the butt, the flank is much higher up than the chest. So let's start with the head. With the head of a My Little Pony, figure out where you want your eyes. About a little more than halfway through the circle is where your eye should live. I'm going to draw it on a diagonal. Do you see that line I just made? Yeah? Okay, cool. So figuring out where the eye should live, I'm going to draw the forehead to come down to that line, and then kick out a little nose, like that. Not very far at all, right? Kick out that little nose, and then pull it back in. Now you're going to want to follow the shape of the bottom of the circle here, and that's going to pull back like that. So you see how that all connected? Yeah? Cool beans. Now on that line that we made, which is where our nose starts, I'm actually going to pull this forehead up just a little bit more. So notice how I'm correcting my own work as I work. That's because I'm a professional and that's what we do. Feel free to correct yourself as you work. Nobody makes a perfect line the first time unless, you know, you're super, super crazy good. But there we go. So we got our forehead, we've got our nose established at this point. I'm going to go ahead and draw my eye along this line that I made, right here along the line where the nose pulls forward from the base. It depends on what kind of eye you're drawing. I'm going to do a rarity eye. But the eye is genuinely an oval shape. Because this is a flash animation, everything needs to be real simple, so you can just cut and paste and pre-made puppet designs for these characters. So everything's super simple. So these are very simple shapes. So this is an oval. The inner eye is also an oval. The pupil is also an oval. That is darker up here than it is down there. We all know that. Big circle for the light right there. Like that. All right. Now from there we can turn this into a boy eye, a girl eye, anything. With Fluttershy, like all we have to do is change the shape of the eyelid to achieve a different pony's eye shape. So like if this were Fluttershy, the eyelid would go like that, and we would erase the top part of that oval. See? Yeah? Cool beans. If we wanted to do Rarity, we would, and the rest of that oval up top is her eyeshadow. Do we see that? Yeah? Mm-hmm. Now, with like Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash, the oval is more straight up and down like that. So by shifting the angle of the oval, you can make different eye shapes. But it always starts with this oval-shaped base. Also, something, excuse me, something interesting about the shape of My Little Pony's face, and it also applies to Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse, and most anime characters, is that this proportion of the base is reminiscent of a human baby. Huge forehead, tiny nose, tiny mouth. And something in our hindbrain kicks on and says, I want to love and protect that. Honest to God, that is the reason why these characters have these sort of shapes. But notice this is also sort of shaped like Bugs Bunny. If you had teeth and wabbity ears, bunny. Alright? We had Mickey Mouse here, Mickey Mouse. Alright, so this is the shape of a human baby's face, and that's why we keep using this shape again and again. Sorry, Pony, I gave you buck teeth. We won't do that again. I'm telling you. I'm sorry. You're not snips, you're snails. Brush. So, from there, we're going to do the ears. I really, really like the new pony's ears. As much as I love the don't step on me super triangle hurt ears, these are super cute. They're like little leaves, little like doe ears. So it's this gentle leaf sort of shape. That's a little pointy at the top, but you get the idea. So gentle leaf shape. You see that? As opposed to ear, it hurts so good. So, how are we on time, by the way? It's like right now, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna rush through this. Okay, I bored you guys with G1, and now we're gonna rush through the important part. Okay, with the eye, once again, we're just gonna draw in that oval. Okay, there we go. Little nose and a little kick, that's too low. The mouth to me is the hardest part of the face because the mouth is so high. All right, chin. All right, cool. So we see that? Keep the mouth high, close to the nose. You don't want it too low down here, or else it looks like they have a really long, what we call labial nasal trough right here. You don't want that. So you want to keep it real high up. Now, the neck is going to be pretty thin, actually. It's not that thick. You want a great big giant back of the head here for the pony, the bun of the skull. So you want to keep that, the neck coming down like that. Tummy and butt are connected like that. The legs on the pony, the best way I can recommend to draw the legs on a My Little Pony is to do this. I know it looks real dumb, but now you're a pony. You're a pony. So this right here is the upper arm of the pony, the shoulder area, right? This right here, your forearm, is going to be this part of the pony right here. And this bit you're doing with your stupid hand like this, is the hoop area of the pony. So now you've got the mechanical reference for your pony. I know that looks real dumb, but let me draw it for you. So shoulder, forearm, and the stupid thing I'm doing with my hand. And there we go. That's a little small. Let me draw it bigger. So shoulder, forearm. Now, notice how thin it is up here and how wide it is down here. It's not crazy like 3.5 was, but it is still wider than it is here. Now we're going to connect down through there. We got our tummy right here. The back leg, draw an egg sort of shape. This eggy sort of oval shape. It's very thin here. It's very wide up here, right? Sitting from the top of the rear down here. This is going to be that joint where it kicks out and then comes back down into a nice wide, flat bottom foot. This pen wants to die. Can you guys see this? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this eggy shape, this will rotate in whatever direction you need it to. Just draw it rotated in any direction you need it to make that leg go forward and backward. Okay? Does this make sense? Mm-hmm. Cool beans. Now for the hair, go nuts. I have yet to see any rules that really apply to pony hair. Keep it simple. The simpler the shapes, the better. But you can go nuts. Like say we wanted to draw super curly hair. Pinkie Pie's got super curly hair. We could go super nuts. But notice how simple I'm keeping these shapes. Right? These are very simple shapes. I'm not sitting here going, and curl, and curl, and curl, like we did with G1. All right? Simple shapes. Let's say we were drawing like Lyra's hair. Simple shapes. Simple shapes. She's got this cool kind of like cut that comes out and then goes back in and curls back up. So she's got kind of a little bob cut going on. So simple shapes. I'm keeping it simple. You see that? I'm not going and line, and line, and line, and line, like it's clamp or something, right? No, we're not doing that. So does this all make sense?
Yeah.
Same rule applies for the tail. Keep it simple, stupid. Remember that? Kiss? Keep it simple, stupid. There we go. And there you go. So keeping it simple is the way to go. Does anybody have any questions?
Horns and wings.
Horns and wings, horns and wings. With the new generation My Little Pony, the horns are no longer a spiral. Well, they are a spiral, but it's only hinted at. You're not actually drawing the whole spiral anymore. So that being the case, the horn is located actually fairly high up on this pony's head. So where it would have been like here, right between the top of the eyes before, on a G1 or a G3, now it's located pretty much the center mass of the forehead. So we pull out this sort of shape like this, right? And then we draw in like, yay! That kind of makes me sad, actually, because I really missed that cool spiral thing. I figured out how to make spirals when I was 7 drawing ponies. That makes me sad. With wings, you're going to draw, come up, and keep them nice and fat, these feathers. You can make as many feather marks as you want on your wings, all right? So you're keeping them lovely, thick, flat feathers. Oh, they're so big and fat and beautiful. Whereas the G1 ponies have multiple layers of feathering, you can just get away with that with these ponies. The Generation 3.3s have these weird little curls in their wings, which I kind of hated at first, but now I kind of think are really kind of cute. Little curls. Yeah. So you can add whatever you want to your pony. This is your pony. As much as I just, complained and whined and moaned about the generations that we don't talk about, this is your pony that you're creating. And that being the case, you can get away with anything you want as long as you're keeping it simple. The key to G4 is simplicity, all right? Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. The more detail and heavy work you put into your pony, the more it's gonna come across as A, oh gee, look how special my pony is, and B, it's gonna look muddy. You want to get your point across in as little line as possible. That's the real key. If you're drawing an alicorn that is also half sea pony, which is also half lion, which is also half griffin, which is also half dragon, then you've gone too far, all right? That's called looking a little desperate, okay? So you don't want to do that. You can combine up to 2 things, like Pegasus and unicorn, alicorn. Yay! Which, by the way, are you Lord Faust? Stop making alicorns. So, just saying. You can get away with a little bit, but you don't want to go too overboard. Does anybody have any other questions? Because we are running over. Is the next panel here, by the way? Are we waiting? Yes, they are here. I'm sorry. Okay, that's it, you guys. Thank you for coming. Come visit me in the Artist Alley. Thank you so much for the great